One of the most common questions we get asked at Coast Outdoors, or a version of the question, is essentially, what's the difference between a $250 ski and a $1,250 ski? I'll try to explain that to you as quickly as possible. First of all, when you pick these skis up, the first thing you're going to notice is the higher end one is lighter. So as you spend more money on a ski, typically they get lighter, which makes it theoretically a more efficient ski to use. At the entry level, we don't necessarily want the lightest ski we can get when we're learning and potentially falling on our skis. We want a ski that's going to be a little bit more durable, and we don't want to be sacrificing that for the lightest ski possible. So short story, the more expensive the ski is, typically you're into higher end materials that make the ski overall lighter. Moving on from there, if we look at the bottom of the ski, the base of the ski is a really important factor in how it performs, and it's a huge part of the value of the ski. At the higher end, the base quality is better, the base finish is better. Essentially, a higher end ski base is going to absorb wax and glide better than an entry level ski. Also, internally in the ski, there's all sorts of different materials and laminations and cores that we don't need to get too weedsy about. But overall, when we go into higher end skis, they get stiffer side to side. So that makes the ski feel sportier. And at the entry level end, we want a ski that's more forgiving to use. So this ski feels sportier, a little bit more dynamic, but we also need to be more on top of it technique wise, otherwise it's not going to feel as good. So short story, it feels really nice to ski on when your technique is appropriate for that level of ski. And when we are developing technique and working on our skills, then the more entry-level ski is going to be easier to use and thus easier to develop better technique long-term. So talking specifically about classic skis now, one of the big differences between an entry-level ski and a high-end ski, the entry-level ski is designed for easier grip. So when we're developing technique, the hard part about learning how to classic ski is compressing the ski to get that grip section into the snow to push off, especially if we need to start going up a hill. So an entry-level ski is designed for easier grip, and a higher end ski is designed to glide better. The faster a classic ski is, typically that is assuming more technique from you, the skier. So as we're developing technique, we're kind of doing ourselves a favor by jumping onto a more entry-level ski that's not making skiing harder, where if you jump on a high-end ski right away, you're really going to have to fast track your technique development, because if your technique is not on top of the ski the same way, it's going to be harder to make the ski perform the way that you want it to. The other big difference with classic skis, and this isn't necessarily an entry-level to high-end ski difference, and we'll talk about why in a minute, but one of the big conversations when we're picking the classic skis for people is what is the grip mechanism that the ski uses. So now, more so at the entry level, is a fish scale or crown type ski. So there's a pattern base here, and you're getting a mechanical grip into the snow with this section. This exists at the entry level as well, but as we move up, we're probably going to move away from a fish scale ski into a skin ski. So you will notice right away that the grip section is quite a bit smaller on this ski than it is on the crown ski. So that grip section is quite a bit longer. This ski, the skin ski, is going to glide better. How well it glides versus how well it grips really depends on how well the ski is selected for you. Is it the appropriate stiffness, and what performance level is it? So when we talk about stiffness in relation to classic skis, what we're talking about is the camber stiffness. How much force does it take to get this ski fully closed? In an ideal world, this is a skin ski here. In an ideal world, when I am gliding along, I want there to be enough stiffness in this ski that the skin section is not dragging on the snow, but it needs to be soft enough so that when I put my full body weight on it, I am getting the ski nice and flat. If I'm not able to get the grip into the snow with my full body weight, I'm not going to get any grip. So when we're picking a pair of skate skis, we want to make sure that the ski is appropriate for our ability level. Again, entry-level ski is going to be a bit more forgiving to use while we're developing technique, and a high-end ski is going to be a bit more demanding to ski on. A new skier can definitely jump on a higher-end pair of skis, just means they're going to have to be a bit more focused on learning. Then from there, we want to make sure that the ski is the right fit for us. Lengthwise for a skate ski, in an ideal world, we're going to pick that ski about 5 to 10 centimeters overhead height, but there's some plus or minus variability in there. So if we're a little bit longer, a little bit shorter than that, that can be completely fine. And we also want to make sure that the stiffness of the ski is appropriate for the weight of the skier. So you don't want a ski that's too stiff or too soft. Each ski and each length is going to have a weight recommendation or an ideal weight range. So we want to make sure that we're somewhere in that window. We can definitely help you through that process, and we will in the store. If you're looking to buy off of our website, again, you can reach out to us ahead of time and we can help narrow those options down. And then each ski model from different brands is going to have a weight chart listed as well, so that can help narrow the options. And those charts are all available on the Coast Outdoors website. So if you're shopping outside of store hours, you can figure out the best length and stiffness on any given ski for your weight.